Welcome back, folks. We've got some more Mario 64 action coming at you live on GSA. This time, a match between Protoman and Wilko. And for full disclosure, this was a pre-recorded match at a slightly earlier time, since right now it would be a little past midnight for Wilko. So the match was recorded just a couple hours ago, so it's still a fresh one, still nice and juicy. I'm Electric, and I'm super hyped to be calming this race for you. This is actually Wilko's first ever race in the GSA 70-star league. He's been trying to get in through the qualifiers, but just had a couple unfortunate qualifier matches both times. But now going to be filling in since, unfortunately, Paracusia did drop from the league. So Wilko is inheriting Para's record of 1-1 and 35 points. And as we can see, Protoman is unfortunately sitting on 3 losses, 56 points. You may be wondering why Wilko is so much higher in the standings. That's just because of the later D whatever versus now Wilko match having to be postponed. So after this week, a lot of the leaderboard weirdness will be absolved. But this will be a really interesting match. Both these players are fairly comparable in skill levels, both sitting in that like high 49, low 50 PB range, and both of them ultimately being very consistent players, emphasizing consistency a lot more than a lot of other guys. Wilko especially will delve very deep into the lag library and like anywhere he can find strats, trying to find what works the absolute best for him, and not exactly caring about doing everything as like blazingly fast as possible. So it'll be interesting seeing how these similar philosophies end up going in slightly different directions here and there, and ultimately the outcome of this race will be interesting to see. And so let's see what type of Lakitu skip they both go for. I'd be a little surprised. Yeah, Wilko going for the kick to the side setup. You can see he gets a much better camera lineup than Protoman did, but both of them actually getting Lakitu skip just fine. As now we advance into bomb clip. And everyone knows this star, of course, can be a little bit unruly sometimes. It's like pillarless light. Like if Diet Coke and Coke Zero both like combined all of their bad attributes to make a product, like that would be what bomb clip is to pillarless. Just light zero. Wilko points is going to be the dominant factor, especially like if people have the same win-loss record. Points will be what determines who wins. Oh wait, win-loss. Okay, commentator showing that he needs to actually go back and read some backroom documents. My bad. My bad. You heard it both from an actual competitor and from the league managers. 12-9, 12-4. Very interesting guesses. I think Pro's going to do 12-8 and Wilko 12-7. Okay, so I think that must have been like a change this season or something. I apologize for that. I should have actually like read up and made sure I was up to date on the league documents. But no worries. We're now moving into Womp's Fortress. Protoman with a little bit of an off-angle long jump, but it's still fine. No big deal. All right, so now Proto advancing up to Cannonless. Wilko going to be deciding to go ahead and do Owlless first instead, and Proto actually opting for texture setup here. Very interesting decision. It didn't quite work out for him, but I definitely admire the confidence. We're almost certainly seeing a full setup from him next, though. And Wilko's Owlless attempt went perfectly fine. Okay, let's see what Proto does now here. Is Proto... Okay, gonna go... What am I thinking? He's gonna go for Canvas again, of course. Texture setup again? No full setup. Okay, proving commentator to be a liar, and he gets it this time. Very nice. Now let's see. If Proto starts going right up the slope, this is gonna be a huge moment for him. Texture setup is easier. Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave? And both players now going for standard full setup 100 coin here. The ideal move for a race, since you do have some leniency, especially compared to Pro Cycle. Yeah, like if you're comfortable moving Mario in small increments, it's easier to line up than like trying to determine if a ledge grab position for full setup will work or not. You're definitely right on that. Nice 100 coins for both players, though. Less steps to mess up. I'm a simple man. Very fair. That's really fair. It just goes to show the value that like having a lot of experience moving Mario can have, because if you've spent a lot of time with the game and you understand how very small movements of the stick will control small movements of Mario, then I could definitely see you having a lot more fine control over texture setup than someone like me that still can kind of struggle. Like I know what I visually should be looking for, but actually getting Mario in that position can be hard. And a lot of times you're forced to just go with something that you don't think looks that great just because you don't feel like trying to get up and line it up again. Both players just kind of chugging along in Womps right now, though. Wilko making his way up to pay a quick visit to our favorite Womp. Did Proto just do Wild Blue twice? I didn't actually see. I guess so. Yeah. Okay, based on people saying you got a blue star, then yeah. Proto did do Owless, though. Let's ignore the fact that he grabbed a star twice, because he did not use the Owl. Has historically been very afraid to try to do that wall kick into the cage, but he did actually get Owless. Attempted it first try. Very, very nice to see. This is pre-recorded. You should still be focused. Come on, guys. Now Wilko going for top of the fortress star. A little fun fact, Wilko actually helped me learn how to do this star well. And it's very easy when you do it the way that he tries to do it. Because you actually have a lot of leeway to move to the left on top of like the base of the top of the fortress before you actually start running forward to start your triple jump. And if you like mess around with it and realize just how much extra time you have to move to the left, you're able to give yourself a very consistent lineup for the triple. Wilko about to get a 12-5 on his slide now. You should keep watching. Linux can wait. Even Gen 2 can wait. Yeah, which distro? That's the really important question. If you're not installing Arch, then no, don't restart. Now Wilko about to start his flying section. Protoman, though, not Wilko. Protoman going back into the slide for a 12-8 probably, if I had to guess. Yeah, I'll be real, I've never heard of Zorin either. It must be like a more specialty distro. Oh, Wilko missing one of the coins here, but not super dangerous, and he's still able to grab it with relatively little time loss. One bad thing about wing cap is if you miss one of the upper coins, you only have like really one shot at re-grabbing them. Otherwise, you'll just fall too low to actually grab them. Oh, okay. It's probably one of those specialty that like it just has a very specific desktop setup. I am still curious whether it's Arch or Debian based or something else entirely. Anyway, enough of that. Wilko hits the switch and starts off the rest of Dark World cycle. Like, it's a very interesting mental dynamic when you start Dark World and you know that you have to get that very precise stick turn in order to actually hit the button. And like when you practice it, you get to a point that you can do it pretty close to every time. But in a run, it's just you're just effectively hoping that the game will decide, okay, you get to press the button correctly this time. And when you do see Mario pressing the button right, it's a very like just overwhelming feeling of just, okay, I can now continue. I can go now. What's up, Legacy? Punkay rating with a party of 47. Thanks for the post-race raid. Wilko finishes off with a nice Shig cycle. Proto probably going to have to settle for normal cycle, though, especially after that early elevator bobble. And he's actually just going to go ahead and go for Pop Shig here. Yeah, so this will be a full normal cycle at this point. Normal cycle just loses about 4 seconds compared to Shig, for those not in the know. And I don't every time I watch Proto race, I will criticize him until he changes this camera. I don't know why he uses that camera there. It's very weird. I don't know even how he's consistent at wall kicking with it, but Proto, if you're watching or listening, like I will continue to roast you for that until you change your cam there or explain to me why that cam works, because I don't understand it. And I get mad at things I don't understand. Wilko going in the sky jump now. Something that I no longer get mad at because I do now understand it. Nice triple. Had a lot of speed there. Very, very clean execution. Okay, so now Wilko moving on into CCM. Let's see what his preferred star order is here. It's a little interesting seeing what runners decide to go with Penguin first and which ones decide to go with wall kicks first. Wall kicks tending to be the standard, but Penguin does have a little bit of extra safety advantage without any sort of time loss. And Wilko is one that does do Penguin first and gets the kick in. For me personally, it's actually easier to do that jump if I don't kick when I do this star with the text box. I have it very consistent without the kick with text box, but any other combination of like kicking and text box, I'm not very consistent at. It's very weird. And so now Proto is going to be joining Wilko in this nice, fun, family-friendly winter stage that totally does not just share a painting with SL. I mean, honestly, you gotta think that like Snowman's Land and CCM are like part of the same area geographically. Like I know CCM is just this mountain in the middle of nowhere, but like, I mean, maybe it's just hovering over Snowman's Land. Maybe that's what made the lake in Snowman's Land, is pulling all the land out of Snowman's Land in order to make this land called Cool Cool Mountain without the word land in the title. Land. Anyway, here's Slide Skip. From both players, actually. Nice to see. And let's see these moonwalks come on out here. Wilko with a pretty nice and clean moonwalk. A little bit of speed loss, but nothing too major at all. And Proto also kind of hugging the wall a little bit tighter than he might like, but overall nice moonwalks from both players ending that slide. And now we're moving into CCM 100. So, one of the big pitfalls of game design in the very early 3D era was not quite understanding how to make a racing game both fair and challenging. Because what a lot of developers decided to do was, if you were ahead, they would just make your opponents go unfairly fast. Just because, why not? Prime examples can be seen with Mario Kart 64, the Goron race from Majora's Mask, and this guy here. So ultimately, this route is a little safer than trying to do Pillarless twice in SSL, but you're having to deal with this blue penguin, which is, as we did unfortunately see in the last race, is a very formidable foe. It can just try to push you out of coins for no reason. The sliding mechanics of the game are already kind of weird. Like, this isn't a very pleasant star to have to deal with, especially mentally and emotionally. But Wilko, he's good to go. 85 coins. Let's see if Protoman can go ahead and match. Once you have those 85 coins, The rest is pretty well in the history books. You can't really miss that last line, and the star is so close. Wilko getting a little close to that edge with his long jump, but ultimately fine. And Proto also going to be going ahead and getting all 100 coins on the slide. No minute time losses here. Both players giving Commentator a little heart attack with how early they're long jumping, just because, why not? Collect all 121 stars, forehead. Wilko with some kind of awkward castle movement there. If you aren't thinking totally on your feet and you don't remember, because watch Proto here. Okay, never mind. Don't watch Proto there because he's going back into the painting for one more star. What you're supposed to do to exit there is buffer a kick with the save prompt. So hold A even after you press A for continue without saving, and then kick and then do 2 long jumps to the down right. But if you forget about the kick, it's very easy to do what Wilko just did. And so now Wilko advancing up to the big boo at the top of this mansion. Interesting cam throughout the whole mansion there. You don't really see people going in Mario cam. Although it does lead to this. You're able to actually get a view on the boo when you're landing that third hit rather than trying to do it blind. You can do it blind very consistently. If you ground pound the boo at the same time at the start, you'll always be able to punch it at the same time, the same distance, and the lineup will always be the same for you to kill it on the roof. But Wilko's cam setup there just made sure he was able to visually see in case anything went wrong. So now Wilko's going to be advancing on in for Bookcase Star as Proto takes care of the boo himself, using that just standard blind camera angle. It's really fine. This is one of the very few stars in the game that actually look harder than it actually is. Doing it consistently can be a little hard, but executing it just once, trying like as a casual player is not too bad. So now Wilko advancing down into Shifting Sandland. He's only going to have to do Pillarless once, but this is a trick that if you haven't put hours upon hours into, you just don't have it truly consistent. So it'll be interesting seeing what's about to happen here. Punch grab from Wilko on Mips there. On the first Mips, since the first Mips runs a bit slower on the American version than on Japanese, for the first Mips, the punch grab actually can make a little more sense. Since a dive, I think if you are going too fast or like you're too far forward with your dive, you can actually dive over Mips. So seeing the punch grab on first Mips isn't quite as uncommon as trying to see it on second. And a nice punch from Proto as well here. All right, so Wilko, perfectly fine first plus. Let's see what Protoman's able to accomplish here. He does not want to be left at a deficit here. Oh, but he loses the bomb on the sand slope there and just goes ahead and takes the death in the whirlpool. That whirlpool sucked him in. He was not very close at all, but it just said no. Let's see the second attempt here. Needs to get a big bomb yet again. Doesn't get the jump though at the same time as the throw, so it's getting a little bit more iffy. He's gonna go ahead and just do the Talon Star back up here. Oh, barely hitting the bottom of that star hitbox. Oh man. Yeah, Tama was here, so anyone not doing Tama Plus always gets cursed. That's how it works. Everyone knows this at this point. Okay, so Wilko's starting out with LLL here, and actually starting out with hot log rolling into the volcano. Interesting dive decision. Not quite sure what mistake was made there, but that was not intentional. And we got Wilko collecting that star as Protoman clips into the top of the pyramid and does get Pillarless himself. Only 2 stars behind, so it's a decent deficit, but Protoman can definitely still recover. All right, so Wilko just going to go ahead and go for big bully kill first. All right, Protoman getting much cleaner execution on that red hot log rolling star. As Wilko goes for triple bullies now. Let's see what comes out of it. Nicely done from Wilko. That strat is a little bit finicky, so it's really nice to see when it works. Protoman just opting for the nice, comfy long jump reds. It's one of those stars that there's a big difference between like the difficulty in doing long jump strat, the like intermediate / beginner strat versus doing the jump dive strat, which is definitely more in the pro territory. And yet the time save is very, very tiny. It's like, I think a second or two at most, mainly because you get to do a dive on the very first line of 3 reds that you normally don't get to do with the long jump movement. Protoman getting bodied before he can get his side flip out, but luckily getting his revenge on the bully there, not letting this become a rage in the cage match. Yeah, Tama's not here. What's a Tama? I don't know what a Tama is. Are you talking about a Tomahawk? You don't spell that T-A-M-A. What's going on here? I don't get this. Oh, Wilko took double damage on that earlier part of the lava. So if you hit the lava a little weird, normally the game will only let you hit lava once, but I believe what's happening internally is for some reason it registers you temporarily not touching the lava, then touching it again. So you actually get damaged twice, even though you should only get damaged once. Wilko was really, really nice to back that up, though. That was... Oh, getting a little bit of weird movement there. And getting burned, too. This is a very, very bad stage entrance. Oh, and he's not going to be able to do lava boost. Well, what's the move here? He's just going to go ahead and collect some coins. So doing long jump boost. He missed the coins, so he's going to have to float back down. And I don't know what he's about to do. I think he's just going to run right up the volcano. I don't see him trying to do the boost again. Yeah, it's just going to be faster for him to do the movement up, and being well-versed in 120 star, this movement is not unfamiliar to him, at least. So this is some good opportunity for Protoman to be able to catch up, and as we can see on Protoman's side, he's able to get lava boost pretty cleanly. And with that, the star count is now tied. Granted, Protoman, I believe, has a longer star than Wilko to deal with, but still, this is a big gain for Protoman here, from Wilko just not quite being able to lava boost. And so Wilko only having to deal with reds. But as you can see, this race is much, much tighter than it was before. And Protoman getting the rollout on the platform. Nicely done. And so we're going to see a pretty tight race going on into Fire Sea. This is nice to see. So, all right, but before we get into Fire Sea, a quick word from our sponsor, water. Water. You need it. You'll love it. You'll die without it. So we're just gonna grab some quick swimming stars, because there's not enough swimming in this run, right? Everyone loves water levels. Everyone loves how slow swimming goes. And so we got a nice little treat. We're gonna open up these chests just by kind of knocking on the corner of them, because that's just how that works. And yeah, nice swimming. Protoman getting a little bit close to the 4th chest, but not triggering it, which is totally fine. Wilko losing a little bit of his speed, but still maintaining the swim rhythm, so he's good to go there. If you miss a swim, you lose a lot of momentum that you have to like try to build back up. Yeah, don't do too much water. You can die without water, and you can die with too much water. It's a very careful balance. You gotta respect the water. Yeah, just save the water you drank the first time, forehead. So both players going for rear sub here. It's nice and consistent. The only real difficulty is just in timing exactly when to jump out of the water to hit the fin. So nicely done from Wilko. It begs for water, it gets coffee. Yo, Sajaman, thank you so much for redeeming your Onyx sub. Aris, the commentary is live, but this race was pre-recorded just a few hours ago, as it is pretty late for Wilko now. Both players getting pretty nice man. Oh, Protoman playing that like third ring really, really fast and loose. I thought he wasn't going to get that for a sec. But he's good to go. And so now, both players advancing on into Fire Sea. This could be a huge make or break moment. Wilko, okay, kind of interesting kick off to the left side for his initial lineup there. Protoman opting to just run a little bit. Wilko already with a pretty major mistake there. That's probably it for a lava boost, but early Ellie's is still on the table without any more major mistakes. Protoman is still on lava boost pace, so he could make up significant time here. And both players just taking the burn up to the third red there. And so now we got the triple jump going off. Wilko not getting the long jump he wanted, but Proto is getting that long jump and the jump dives. Let's see it happen. It's good to go. Nice lava boost from Protoman, taking a pretty nice little lead here that he did not have going into this stage. Wilko, unfortunately, having to wait the full elevator cycle, not even getting early LEs here. So Protoman saving upwards of 15 seconds over Wilko on this. This is substantial for Protoman. Let's see if he's able to hold on to this lead going through upstairs. It's when you're doing runs of this, it's very, very easy to start thinking about Fire Sea as the end of one run and Wet Dry World is the beginning of another. And Protoman right now is starting his upstairs RTA run very, very nicely in the best position that you can really hope for in a matchup like this. And this is another thing I want to ask Proto about. Why do you bother doing this? Like, you could just jump and ground pound behind Bowser. You can jump and kick and land behind him. You don't have to jump in the lava. Like, I'm waiting for the one race where Protoman goes into this fight in Red Bar and ends up dying because that muscle memory just causes him to jump dive. It's fun. I can't really argue with that, Tama. I really can't. So you win on this one. Howdy, living the noob life. Okay, Protoman heading on upstairs now. Let's see how Wet Dry World 100 goes. We've seen a decent number of people obtain a lead in Fire Sea and lose it to the very first star afterwards. So we'll see what happens. It looks like Protoman is one of those players that actually opts to do Wet Dry 100 later, and instead is going to be doing these early stars first. So starting off with Elevator Tour, which seems to be going pretty nicely. Elevator Tour, sorry, just Express Elevator. While Wilko is getting started with 100 coin, tries for the double box break, but the kick doesn't quite connect for some reason, so he's just going to do the standard box breaks. The RNG is good so far, though. Every single one of those coins has 3 opportunities for a bad RNG roll that will send it to go flying. Every time a coin spawns, as you can see there, Wilko having to avoid 1 coin from the spider just because, in his opinion, it would take too long to go grab as a backup. And that box's coin spray didn't quite cooperate. So, every time a coin spawns in this game, the game generates a random number for its X, Y, and Z velocity. So if any one of those just happens to be an outlier that's really high, the coin's going to go flying and you'll have a bad time. And if you think about, like, you're collecting 100 coins here, many of them coming from spawns like boxes and enemies and such, there are a ton of opportunities for the RNG to just say, okay, this coin's not going to be able to reach. Sorry. Protoman with a very, very nice spray there on that box. And Wilko going to be going for the Chucky grab. Kind of an awkward angle for the grab. Okay, good. Had to sacrifice his safety coin on that earlier spider, so it's nice that he was still able to collect those, even though the chucky spawn was less than ideal. Overall, a decently solid 100 coin from Wilko. Proto is almost definitely still in the lead. In fact, definitely still in the lead. Elevator definitely takes longer than the apparent lead that Wilko has through the star. Now it's Wilko's turn to go ahead and go for top of the town with the elevator. I'm sorry, I'm just butchering these star names. This is Express Elevator, hurry up, not top of the town. Wilko getting a little bit bopped by that wooden platform, having to take a little bit of time to be able to side flip up on top of it, but ending up getting his wall kicks in the end as Protoman quickly does shocking arrow lifts. Not very shocking how it's done, or with any arrow lifts involved, so yet another name that just holds no relevance anymore. And so Proto actually not opting for the awning wall kick here on this star. Kind of interesting since he did opt for it on the elevator star. Taking a ground pound there, so he's got to go ahead and redevelop his speed for the long jump to work there. As Wilko does get it first try, and so saving a little bit of time on just raw execution. I sound a little tired. Everything okay? I'm not really that tired. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're hearing that's making it sound like that, but I'm not. I think what you're hearing is I'm focusing a lot to make sure I'm seeing what's happening on both sides since I'm solo in the booth. It is a little bit more work going solo to be able to actually try to monitor both players' speeds. So, yeah, sorry about that. I'll try to be a little more enthusiastic from now on. There are plenty more races to come after this one. Right after this is going to be Benji versus JJ which is going to be a really exciting match between two young prodigies. And then after that, D Whatever versus Guy Knight, followed by Heisenberger versus Rock Chalk. And then later on, Blue Bob versus Cheese. And then we're going to close out the night finally with Wilko versus D Whatever. Just a little quiet compared to game audio is all. Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't have direct control over the mix. And I'm... Yeah, that would be something in the back room. So apologies for that. What it probably is I am noticing, now that y'all have pointed it out, I'm noticing myself mumbling a little bit. Need that high energy, brother. All right, now Wilko going to the top of this island. It's a very tall island. Nice quick roll out there, avoiding any sort of ledge grab or any other bonking on that pipe. Nice movement. Let's see if he's able to get the double jump kick. He's got it, and the mountain clip to boot. Nice quick long jump on top, and he's got the star right in his hands. Is that high energy enough now, chat? Am I doing it good? Protoman also with nice piranhas. Relatively free star, although if you do try to go a little too fast on it, it can bite you. The piranhas take a little time to spawn, like while you're looking at them, so it can be easy when you're just starting out trying to learn the rhythm to like pass over a piranha before it's actually spawned. Wilko also with nice piranha plants. I really hate how that area is also like quicksand, and that like it doesn't like it doesn't let you jump fully, so you have to time your jump really well to actually make sure you're grabbing the star after. Proto was going to be going for log wall kick probably, but taking that burn, going to go ahead and opt to just walk down the wall. Can I calm down? It's a little too intense, and you like the ASMR style earlier. Well, I can't please everyone. I'll do what I do. I'm just not going to try to pay attention. I'll pay attention only to the race, and whatever comes out, comes out. Speaking of paying attention, both these players are in intense focus mode now, moving on into TTM. This is a very, very hard stage. Ultimately, it's like a Tippy style stage in its difficulty. High energy ASMR coming at you live. Who do I think will win the league this season? I mean, if the past 2 seasons have told you anything, it should really be that there's no telling who's going to win. I mean, I'm sure going back into season 2, a lot of people thought Punkei was just a shoo-in to win the whole thing again, and he wasn't. He would ever set 2 league world records at the end of that season. So, like, I just, it's very hard to try to predict who's going to end up coming out on top and who will end up in those seats in the first place. Even sometimes, even the top level runners have a bad day that could ultimately impact their ability to get into finals. So, it's hard to say who's going to win. What does the winner get? There is a prize pool for the top 3 to 4 places. I believe 3 places. The exact amount varies based on a number of factors. So to get a firm answer to that, you'd have to actually like watch the finals, and by then we will have a firm answer. Oh, everyone in the league gets a cut. Okay, I was not actually aware of that. Today I learned. Wilko, nice mushroom star. Let's see, Proto going to be going on in for also mushroom star. Is Wilko going back on in? Let's see what he's got left. Still got reds to deal with. Let's see what strat Wilko ends up going for reds. There are a number of different ways that you can go about this star, but let's see. No speed kick at the start. Overall playing decently conservative. And doing a kind of interesting like jump diving strat in the middle. Going a little bit casually through the maze here, but that's fine. Trying to do that triple jump wall kick can be a little finicky. Thank you so much, Lacozio, for the gift of the tier 1 sub to Link Ale. Welcome to the sub club, Link Ale. We got a couple of them GSACs coming out. All right, both players moving on into Snowman's Land. Protoman getting there just before. Wilko not messing with Breezeless. He doesn't need that 2-second time save that is probably just going to be a 4-second time loss. Nicely done. And on Proto's side, also a very nice deep freeze. Deep freeze is the shortest star in the run, but also a very, like, you have to grind it to get truly good and consistent at it. Because there are a lot of little elements at play that'll lose you just fractions of a second. And both players trying to get on top of Snowman's head. Wilko jumping a little bit too early, so he didn't actually get the wall kick, but a very clean backup going on over to roll from the freezing pond. And ultimately, this backup is closer to whirling from the pond than the actual normal strat we do. Like, the normal strat, you're just jumping over a hill. There's no whirling. There's no pond. At least there's a pond on the backup. Protoman chilling with the bully right quick. Wilko having a little bit of an issue getting up the slope now for Snowman's big head. You have to just go with this basic backup wall kick here. All right, he's in there. Nicely done, Wilko. Now, Proto trying to get over this hill, having to take the kind of alternate triple jump strat here. Very nice backup, though. All right, Proto's got his stars. Wilko on deep freeze, I just like to point this out. That last final jump, then dive is exactly that. A jump, then a dive. If you're holding A when you dive, the game registers that as a jump dive, which loses you like a quarter to a half a second. So if you want to do that star optimally, at the very end, when like you've already done the setup and everything, and you're just trying to time that jump, not only are you having to time the jump well, you're also having to very quickly move your thumb off of A into B and make sure that you're not still holding A when you hit B. Otherwise, you will lose like a tiny bit of time. There will definitely be SM64 content, as the finals and semifinals will be live at pace for this league. So this tournament that this match is part of right now, the conclusion of that tournament will be happening live at pace 2020. And I'm hearing word from the back that everything I said was exactly wrong. I'm very sorry. I'm just dumb, okay? That's all y'all need to know. So apparently that part of SM64 content will not be at pace. That is my bad. So anyway, the players are in HMC. And Protoman having a lot of issues getting this triple box jump lined up, and he's broken the box, so he's just going to have to go with Amazing Emergency Exit. All right, Wilko collecting his Toad Star and also advancing into HMC. All right, so Wilko with that nice box triple. And so the lead is shortened a little bit, but Protoman is still in a pretty nice position in this pre-tippy part of the run. Well, let's see if he's able to hold on to it through Rainbow Red and TTC, though. This is really the calm before the storm. After they've gotten that triple box jump, the rest of the stars here aren't too bad. And so nice Christmas miracle from Proto and from Wilko, looks like. I know Wilko's about to go for it, my bad. And the dive, and it's good. Nice to see. And so Proto's just got 1 star left. Wilko's just got 1 star left. We're about to move on into Tippy. And even though Proto's got a decently solid lead, that could all change in these last 2 stages. So 4 stars in Rainbow Ride, 7 in TikTok Clock. Some of the most difficult and brutally punishing stars in the game. You've got Lakitu Bounce, which you get 1 shot at per spawn. And if you don't get it, you're either dead or you have to go get a backup. And there's only really 1 good backup and 1 kind of mediocre backup. And then, of course, swinging in the breeze, there are a lot of opportunities to just fall and die. Reds, you can lose tons of time. And then in TTC 100 is easily a contender for hardest star in the run, with how long it is and how much precise movement it has. Any 1 slip up at the end could easily cost you close to a minute, if not more. And then the other stars within the stage, such as the time-moving triple jump wall kicks, all of which you only get 1 attempt at per spawn, and if you fail them, the backup is very hard. There's a lot to take in, a lot to consider, and both these players are now moving into this beast, so let's just see what happens. There is a big reason why Tippy is referred to as the Great Equalizer. Protoman starting off with Lakitu Bounce, gets a pretty deep side flip, but it works out. He's on the wooden plank now. Just has to get up to the pole. Oh, how could I forget about Todd? I'm sorry, Todd. And so Proto not opting for the wall kick double jump, instead just going to go for the standard ledge grab double. And Wilko also getting his bounce, but ends up falling off the pole. Oh. If I had to guess, he was probably shifting his hand to be able to mash better. If you grab the very bottom of the pole, when Mario starts his pole grabbing animation, he actually falls off the pole. Protoman falling off Rainbow right now. This could be a bit of an opening for Wilko. Not quite an opening yet, but this is setting up a little bit more time. Basically, Mario's animation forces him off the pole, but if you try to re-grab right as Mario gets forced off the pole, you gain just enough height to stay on the pole. Another death from Protoman. Wilko could be ahead after this next star. Let's see what happens here. Going for Lakitu Bounce yet again. A nice deep bounce on Wilko's side. Let's see it happen. Okay, he's on very, very far up the pole, but then jumps a little bit too early so he doesn't go over the platform there. Has to deal with yet another backup and falling right to his death instead of going to tricky triangles. Meanwhile, Proto has to back up with, or no, he's just doing reds normally. He's already got Lakitu Bounce out of the way. Already, this is what Tippy does. This is just what happens in this stage. There isn't any getting past this, getting over this. This is just what happens. Wilko with a major fall there, not actually bouncing off the Lakitu like he thought he would. Wilko needs this to work. Protoman going for left side tricky now. Yet again, let's see if he's able to get the ledge grab this time around. He's just going to go for backup swinging this time. Wasn't able to get the speed that he wanted running into the corner. And so Wilko grabbing the bottom of the pole. He does have the firm grab now. Makes sure to jump on top of the platform. Okay, the ending, a little weird sometimes, but he's got it. Okay. Wilko's done with that star. It's out of the way. He lost some time, definitely, but it's over. Protoman having a lot of trouble getting back into the stage now. He's just got one last star left. Tricky triangles. Kind of an interesting last star to have. He's just going to go for right side tricky this time. Very understandable. Wilko also doing the same, but Wilko does still have swinging to do in full. Very nice tricky triangles from both players. And so Proto is going to move on now to TTC. His lead is not completely firm, though. Needs to have a very, very good TTC 100 in order to make sure that he's got a good lead through the rest of this run. And so, like players like Cheese, he's going to go ahead and go for TTC Reds first. If you ask these players, that a lot of the times they'll say that they do this because it gets them acclimated to the stage, gets them in the mindset of, I'm doing TTC now, and it lets them focus better on the actual 100 coin. So we'll see what exact order Proto decides to go for. I wouldn't be that surprised if he actually puts off TTC 100 until the very end. And you can see he's very likely going to do that going for time stop stars or time moving stars now. Wilko, though, is going to go ahead and get started on 100 coin. Let's see how this goes. This could be huge in reclaiming some of this lost time. Wilko having a bit of an issue with the double jump, but is working out. Not opting for the safety red. The coin routing in this route is perfect. You cannot miss a coin. Although many of the boxes are positioned such that even with bad sprays, it's not going to be a game ender. But there are a couple boxes that can go badly and will cause you to have to get a very costly and very hard backup box. Wilko advancing very nicely up the stage, though, getting that nice triple off the blue coin switch platform, as well as some nice double jump kicks to advance himself up without ledge grabs. And trying to go up these middle triangle platforms, not opting for that very simple ledge grab, or sorry, long jump wall kick. No invisible on the end, kicking that penultimate coin box, but has to go back for that last coin. Like I said, perfect coin count. You cannot afford to miss a coin before this last area. So now collecting his 10 coins as Proto gets get a hand, advancing very, very deep into time moving stars. So, okay. Protoman starting on time jumps on moving bars. Wilko, meanwhile, doing some time moving stars. A nice time moving triple. That's one of those stars that, like, when you very first start this game, you might look at that star and be like, I'd rather do that movement than the left side movement. So let me just grind that. Let me put all the time into that so that I never even have to do the other movement. But then you start to realize that there are little intricacies that you just don't understand because you haven't played the game enough. And like, that's the type of strat that you have to have a deep understanding of the game to even be in a position to grind it out and make it work for you. So seeing these runners get that strat very consistently across nearly every attempt is very impressive and demonstrates a deep knowledge of the game. Okay, Proto finally getting started with his 100 coin. The last star that he's got to deal with in TTC. Wilko also has 3 stars left, but TTC 100 is out of his way. Proto on the blue coin switch. Let's see if he goes for this wall kick here. I'm sure he will. And he's got the wall kick. He's got the double jump kick to skip the ledge grab. Nice side flip wall kicks there. Okay, now let's see this next section here. And he grabbed a safety red, so he's not having to worry about that coin bouncing a little bit out of his way. And the long jump wall kick I'm pretty sure he was expecting a side flip there and just didn't get it. What even happened there? The box flung him back off the kick. That was a superb... Oh, committing to that ledge grab attempt, but it's not quite working for him. Wilko is now in a prime position to steal this race out from under Protoman's feet. Those 10 coins are going to despawn by the time Protoman gets back up there. He's going to have to grab all the reds here, deal with the star spawn, find 2 more coins, and get all the way back up there. And Wilko is sitting pretty, very nearly done with the stage. Just 1 more star left. And in that time frame, Protoman has to get all the way back up top and find 2 more coins. He almost had it. If he would not have tried to commit to that ledge grab, he would still be alive at the top right now. That is for certain. Wilko's got the triple on the reds. He is very, very close to just being out of the stage as Protoman is just stumbling along at this point. Very, very awkward movement. Not very well practiced, I'm sure, because it's such a weird backup to have to do. Normally, when you take a fall like that, you just die. But in this case, he's having to deal with the... Oh, he realized he had to grab the backup box, knew he couldn't go right to the top, and then just flubbed even more. Wilko grabbing his final star now, moving right on along to bits. I really don't know what exactly the play for Protoman is here now. Just all I can think of is try to get to the top. This is really unfortunate for Protoman. And, clipping the top of the fence, causing him to take a fall yet again. Okay, so he does have his backup coins at least. Once he finally gets to the top, he just needs to get into the thwomp area. Collect those 10 coins, and he is done. But Wilko already moving into Sky. Oh. Another fall from Protoman there. This is really, really brutal. Wilko, though, advancing right up the stage. All right, let's see. Nice standing triple there on the left side. This Protoman looks like he is finally getting back to the top of the stage where he wants to be. Just a little bit more movement and he is good to go. Nicely. Okay, so he's finally going to be able to close out this 100 coin. No death. Wilko getting pushed back by a little bit of wind, but that's okay. He's about to get into the fight. All right, Proto finally has his final star from TGC and is going to be moving on to Toad and then Bits. Wilko with throws, though. Let's see. That's a wide miss on left. Let's see what his next throw is going to look like here. And Bowser's chomping a wedge out of the stadium now. Should be an easier throw, though, and that is good. Just 2 more throws left on Wilko. It's Protoman advancing towards the stage, not quite in there. Wilko, nice second throw. Let's see if the third throw is going to be good as well. And with that, Wilko lands the third throw right as Protoman entering Sky. GG's to Wilko, winning his first ever GSA League race. Shoutouts to Wilko, both for volunteering to take that spot from Paracusia's absence, and also on taking this awesome win for his first ever race. A nice close race that ultimately was decided by TTC just being a little more mean to Proto than it was to Wilko. Both of the players had to struggle a lot to get to this point. Rainbow Ride especially was very, very rough on both of them, but it was nice to see them close towards the very end and for this nice solid finish from Wilko. GG's to both players for this race. Now, unfortunately, no interviews as this was a pre-record, but we will get to go ahead and just see Proto finish this one on out. Going to be getting a pretty decent time, less than 2 minutes behind Wilko's, which is always nice to see. So let's see how Proto's fight goes. Because Proto can save a little bit of time by not missing the first throw in the fight. Although Koizo, he decided to retire from the game. Yeah, as EBM said, that's the type of thing like you would just check Discord for. Nice second throw from Proto. 1 more throw and he's good to go. And that's going to be it for Proto. Nice fight. Nice 3-throw fight from Proto. Going to be finishing this one out with a low 54 2x. not a bad run, especially considering that like major meltdown in TTC 100. It was unfortunate, but this is what happens with this game ultimately. That sort of stuff just can't exactly be prevented sometimes. But GG's to both of our runners on some nice solid runs, and especially for sticking with them, even through a few kind of iffy mistakes. But don't go anywhere, folks. We've got some awesome matches coming up right next for you. Right up next is Benji versus JJ. If you don't know these guys, both of them are really young players, less than 18 years old, and both of them are out of this world players. Benji being a top 10 player as of this week, and JJ a top tier runner in Sunshine and very, very close in Mario 64. So that is going to be a really exciting race coming up in just a couple minutes. So stick around, folks. We will be right back.
They are synced.
They are synced now. Do whatever. In the lead again.
Wow. Side for sure from Cheese. Okay, doing it, moving. Oh no, the Cheese falls!